safety of it. Just on the
order today made some comments about that it's quite unfair, given there's cases in Greater Sydney, that it's quite unfair on the Northern Beaches to stay in lockdown. What do you make of those comments?
Oh, look, I think they're completely justified. I can appreciate the frustration people feel when there's stay-at-home orders for one part of the city and other parts of the city are made to move more freely. And I just say thank you to people in the Northern Beaches, especially in that northern zone, who are really doing a lot of the heavy lifting at this stage to keep everybody safe. But none of us can deny the high number of cases that are still active in that region, and the high number of close contacts that we're still identifying every day does cause us, it actually vindicates our position. It vindicates the fact that we do ask people in that zone to stay at home and only to have any interaction with people in that zone. The cases overnight vindicate that position. I appreciate the level of frustration people feel, but we don't want to impose that level of frustration across any other part of New South Wales unless we have to, because we know what it takes to actually do that. We know how difficult it is, and that's why our approach in New South Wales is one proportionate to the risk. And if we can separate geographically certain sections of the community out, we will, if we have that ability. And the Northern Beaches allows us to do that because there's natural boundaries. Other parts of Sydney, it's much more difficult to do that. So that's why during a pandemic, it's always evolving. It would be lovely to be able to say this is the one approach we'll take all the time to every single case that emerges, but that wouldn't be realistic, because that would be imposing either harsher penalties on people that don't need to have it, or else too easy restrictions on others. And that's why I believe the approach we've taken is the balanced one and the proportionate one, based on good health advice. But of course it's evolving, and that's why we're asking everybody to please make sure you're looking up the government websites, the health website. Make sure you've downloaded the Service New South Wales app. Even if you're not going out today or tomorrow, you might decide to do something in a few days' time. Please be prepared. Think about your activity before you undertake it. I'd recommend everybody in New South Wales download the Service New South Wales app if you haven't already, if you have access to a phone. But also, please make sure that if you're a business, that you've geared up yourself for the 1st of January to make sure you do have that Service New South Wales code, because the better information we can have through our contact tracers, the more confidence we have in giving people a degree of freedom even when cases are concerning.